Okay, do you know what really fucking bites? There are some days where it takes like all fucking day to stabilize myself, ourselves. Well, that's another thing. It's like it's so quiet inside. I can't really. It's difficult to connect with people in my subsystem and in my system, or with other parts of me and with my system as a whole. So it's kind of quiet, which just feels cut off and lonely, by the way. It's not like peaceful and quiet or nice and quiet. It's just like kind of disconnected. And then somehow at the same time, simultaneously, I feel so overwhelmed and so upset and so afraid and so many different terrifying fucking emotions that it takes all day to get to a point where I feel like I could do something, like I'm present enough in the room, I'm lucid enough, I can focus, everything isn't just spinning out every which way and like having to be talked down and managed every second. So much so that I can't like remember what I've just done or pick apart my next fucking action in a sequence. And I can get to a place where everything is kind of calm and still enough, not to say that it's calm and still, but like a little less painful and chaotic, to the point where I could like maybe think about doing something in an organized way, like kind of doing something, doing anything at this point. Makeup helps, but it's a very slow process when I'm having a rough fucking day, because I'll dissociate in between doing it and everything is slow. My hand-eye coordination seems to get a bit weird, my vision feels like it gets a bit blurry, my eyes dart everywhere around, I can't quite think clearly or cognitively, and sometimes it's just like the fucking intensity of the fear and the great grief leads me to be, I think, stuck in freeze and just paralyzed. So all of this is going on, it's kind of changing from one to the next, I guess, as I switch or change through parts of me, but it's kind of harder to tell when I switch within parts of myself, or if that still happens. I kind of think it does because of the random amnesia, otherwise it's random, or people in this system that I don't know are fronting, but I assume Vince would notice and probably tell me. He was just so unhelpful sometimes. I would tell you. Get damn it, man. And you're never unhelpful. Oh, come on, don't pull your blows. It's like when it changes from one thing to the other, I can't remember. It's got a state of permanence between everything. So like I can connect to him and we can talk, and I feel like this has been on and off all day and I can't remember a time or a way it hasn't been like that. And then simultaneously it's been isolated and I've been alone and sort of stuck in thinking, stuck really unable to move or do anything all day. Do I have a consistent sense of I between different parts of me now, so I'm like switching but only remembering one experience as I switch? Like, what the fuck is going on? Loosely, I've been kind of thinking about like all of the things on my mind at the minute and all of the ways in which I'm confused and in pain. I can't even summarize a fucking list because there's so much and it's so hard to engage with. And then I get to the end of the day, getting stable enough to kind of start to think about doing things like journaling or vlogging or eating something. I mean, like, we did eat in the morning, but I haven't eaten all day since. And I kind of forget, like, it's just so wild. I kind of kind of forget how much shit has happened all day within me. And I'm like, wow, I've wasted the entire day. What have I been doing all day? Like, I haven't been doing anything for no reason. But it's like I just fucking forget all of the hell I've been calming down from today once I'm kind of slightly more stabilized. Is that switching between like trauma holding parts or EPs within me or within my subsystem and getting to a hosting part who's not frozen and not stuck in these things? And is it maybe so fucking hectic and confusing because as integrations and fusion progresses, I'm gaining a sense of I between all these parts of me that I have never had a sense of I before and would have just had like full blackout amnesia before. And maybe now having slightly less than full blackout amnesia means I notice the amnesia I do have, or I notice like, I don't know, I got a fucking 5. Maybe I'm noticing how hard it is because I feel like I'm getting to a place where I notice that I'm not noticing. There are things I'm missing. There are things that I forget. And I feel like I used to forget them to the point where it was not on my radar that they were happening. And I would just fully believe I had done nothing all day. Whereas now it's like, I'm kind of aware that there's like all this shit that's been happening. But I'm periodically like really aware of it and still in it so much I can't function, and then not really aware of it and then kind of aware of it, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Fusing between host parts and persecutors and trauma holding parts is a very gradual and pretty extreme process in my account.